Welcome, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to
Vaughn Radio.
This is Vaughn Radio. This is the show with no name, and it's time for Liftoff. 10. Countdown with me. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You got it.
2,
1,
0.
You got it. Here we go.
Ignition.
Let's do this.
Liftoff. Liftoff. 30 minutes after the hour.
Come on, folks. We're going to make this happen. Yes, come on. Get ready. Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's the show with no name. Radio. Let's go. That's right, amigos. Welcome one. Welcome all. It's time for the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Hope you guys are ready to rock. Listos para acción. Ready to rock. Well, you were in good hands. I left you with my buddy Fitz and his program, No Excuses. It's the perfect way to warm up for the show with no name, your interactive, wacky English show on Vaughn Radio, where we've been for, oh my God, 15 years now, folks, over 15 years, and I'm still having fun. That's, I wouldn't be here, honestly. I could just give classes all day and my life would be easier. I mean, one-to-one classes. But I love what I do, and I love the people I work with. And I don't just mean Fitz and Tosh and Kyle Miller, but I mean you guys, my students. You make it all worthwhile. You bring the magic every single day, and I thank you for that. Thank you, amigos. All right. Also want to remind you guys that it's officially here. It is just days away, and I'm talking about Feria del Libro. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time of year again. Spring has sprung, and that means it's time for the book fair at the Retiro Park in Madrid. It kicks off on May 26th. Till June 11th. Join us at Grupo Vaughn's stand 312, 312. I'll be there with Damian Moya presenting our latest book. And my amigos will be there signing their books as well. Don't miss
Julia Linares, or Jules, host of the Let's Get Random show.
Dave Boys, host of The Salads.
Jimena Holiday, host of Test Your English.
Guy Williams, host of Western Civilization.
Natasha Pasqua, host of Back to Basics.
Kyle Miller from The Drive Time Show.
Richard Vaughn.
And many more. Meet your favorite Vaughn presenters, teachers, and authors at Feria del Libro 2023. Stand 312. Check out our website for the complete schedule, grupovaughn.com, and follow us on social media for further updates. Feria del Libro 2023 with Vaughan at the Retiro Park in Madrid. Join us at Stand 312. 312. That's right, amigos. And as you know, we are releasing our latest book. I don't even have it yet, but here's a little ad, a little jingle to get you excited, a little promo, you could call it as well. And I hope you guys enjoy it. As with everything, we made it with TLC, ese toque de cariño, tender, loving care.
Y fin.
Oh, the
Alberto.
end. Oh, man, that was the never-ending story.
Lo hemos conseguido, hemos terminado nuestro tercer libro.
But wait a second. It just dawned on me. Me acabo de dar cuenta. We don't have a title.
¿Cómo llamamos al libro? ¿Cómo lo llamamos? This Book is the Milk 3?
No, that's too generic. This book is the Requete Milk.
No, es que ya hemos hecho The Remilk, no
I
sé.
think we've milked that idea. Hemos exprimido esa
Sí,
idea.
la hemos ordeñado demasiado, la verdad.
I've got one. This book is the shit.
Pero, hombre, This Book is the shit, ¿pero qué va a pensar la gente? ¿Que el libro es una mierda?
No, lo contrario. Significa, de verdad, este libro es la leche.
Ah, en serio, This Book is the shit es algo bueno.
Sí, hombre, no nos confundamos aquí. This book is shit. Es lo peor. This book is the shit. No hay nada mejor.
Así se aprende inglés con This Book is the shit. Por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya. There you go, folks. It will be available everywhere soon. As soon as I have a link, you guys will have it. And I'm talking about those of you who can't make it to the book fair. I want to send you guys a shout out. Un aplauso. I know you'll be there with us in spirit. And I know that if you could make it, like students like Jaime and other students like Carmen, great students of mine who won't be with us, but you will be there. We'll feel your magic with us. And if you can make it and you don't come, well, then as my buddy Fitz says, you have no excuses. All right, let's kick off with today's pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Sing it. Pop quiz. Is this an English class or a club? Pop quiz. ¿Esto es una discoteca o una clase de inglés? Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. That's right, amigos. It is our pop quiz only on the show with no name. And here's where I extract something either from social media, so from one of my posts or one of my buddies at Vaughn Radio, or I get it from one of our books, one of our materials, which, as you know, if you can't come to the book fair, you can always pick those up at vaughntienda.com. But either way, I urge you to follow us on social media because you'll get content. You'll also know what's going on in the Vaughn world when we have upcoming events. And as many of you know, Vaughn Radio Trivia Night, also right around the corner. Jot it down. Apunta. It is June 7th. June 7th, Andy Vaughn, Rob Grams from the Lunchtime Show, and The Notch, a.k.a. Nacho, the guy who doesn't need a last name. It's June 7th, and it's where it always is. Roll Madrid. Calle Amaniel, 23, Vaughn Radio Trivia Nights. Tons of fun, folks. Tons of fun for the whole family. All right, let's take a look at today's pop quiz, and let's see what we've got going. All right, today's pop quiz comes from the one, the only, the gifted talentuoso, con un don, the gifted Dave Boys. If you haven't listened to his program, The Salad, I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, he's been on the air longer than the show with no name. He is an institution. He's an OG, an original gangster, baby. Yeah, I'm talking about the one and only Dave Boyce and his program, The Salad. He's also got a book, a kid's book, and it's called Canciones con Animales en Inglés. He'll be signing the book, and he's bringing his instruments, guys. He doesn't go anywhere without his guitar and his tambourine. Pandereta, you say? Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, let's play a song for me. Any Bob Dylan fans? Wait, I sang it way too good. Lo canté demasiado bien. Let me do it again. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not making fun of Bob Dylan, but that's his voice. Which just goes to show it's not always about having a beautiful voice. Maybe it's about having an original voice. And I don't just mean your voice that your vocal cords produce. I mean your voice as an artist. And let's be honest, Bob Zimmerman, come on. Bob Zimmerman, Robert Zimmerman. That's Bob Dylan's real name, his birth name. So if you guys want to see Dave Boys, go to Feria del Libro, Caseta 312. Right? Is that it? Let me just check. Yes, 312. And he will be signing his book. He'll sign other books if you wanted to. He'll be there once. So if you want to see Dave, you got to go Saturday, June 10th, 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Here's the challenge that he's given us here on The Salad. Depende si vas a rechazar su oferta o no. Okay, so depende de si vas. Okay, so lo estoy intentando traducir. He doesn't put it in Spanish. He makes me do the work. So, no, todo depende de si vas a rechazar su oferta o no. Okay, so todo depende de si vas a rechazar su oferta o no. That's our pop quiz. And I think we're going to go on over to our virtual classroom right now. And let's see who's on board. Good morning, show with no namers. And welcome aboard. First up, we've got David. And David says, good morning to you, David. Short and sweet, cortito y al grano. Vero says, good morning, beautiful people. Rest in peace, Tina. Tina. Oh, Tina Turner, right. I read it on Twitter. Yeah, it's true. Ah, man. My wife thought, I don't know if she wants me telling you guys this. My wife thought she was dead already. And I said, no, she's no spring chicken, no era joven. But she was still kicking ass. So yeah, Tina, took me a second there, Vero. All right, you guys can see how disconnected I am from pop culture, from what's happening. I mean, I know about it because I have Twitter, but I don't watch TV or anything like that. Born to Iron Man, there he is. Somebody who is connected to bettering himself every day. It's a mission of his, and he's kicking ass and taking names. Born to Iron Man says, morning, folks. Ready and steady. You sound very British, sir. Yeah, Americans say, on your mark, get set, go. Or ready, set, go. And they say, ready, steady, go. Hey, it's a choice of personal preference, I would say. Chris Valrol, there she is, our movie queen. She's the movie queen. Oh, yeah. And she says, morning, Alberto and mates. Absolutely, Vero. Tina forever in our hearts. Well, there's just one way to sum it up. She was simply the best, better than all the rest. Hey, and Tina Turner, Toma Double Trouble, was a head turner. Did you get it? No? She's a head turner. Hacía que la gente miraba dos veces, ¿no? Giraban cabezas a mirarla. O sea, atraía a la gente, ¿no? Le miraban. Maybe because of those long legs. Maybe because she was gorgeous. And then once she opened her mouth, Proud Mary, keep on burning. Proud Mary, keep on turning. Rolling, rolling on the river. There's Kubla, rocking and rolling. He says, greetings, admirable human beings. Taking into account its authors and going out on a limb. Arriesgándome aquí to go out on a limb, I dare say your latest book is a piece of highbrow literature. Kudos. Well, I wouldn't say highbrow. Intelectual, but you will learn. You'll laugh. You'll have fun. And there are even videos. There are QR codes that lead to videos. Let's see. David says, good morning. Oh, wait. I don't know why it does that. Sometimes what happens here is this thing like brings me to the top of the comments again. I don't get it. Let's see. We've got Kubla participating in our pop quiz. Remember, this is from Dave Boy's show, The Salad. You can listen to it every day on the Vaughn Radio app or wherever you listen to podcasts. Y todo depende de si vas a rechazar su oferta o no. And Kubla says, it all depends on whether you're going to turn down his offer or not. Excellent job. Yeah. Yeah. Also, Nihad got it as well. Nice job. Nihad. All right. Born to Iron Man. Born to Iron Man says it, but he says refused. You can say that, sure. So we've got to turn down and to refuse an offer. And I love it, Born. You're finding it in pop culture. Let me get in character here. I'm going to make you an offer. You can't refuse. And I refuse to take out the refuse. ¿Qué? I refuse, me niego, to take out the refuse. ¿Qué es eso? Pues son dos palabras que se escriben igual, pero no se pronuncian igual. I refuse to take out the refuse. La basura. Whoa. Yeah. Kubla says a head turner. Mujer despampanante. Well, let me clear something up. It can be a man or a woman, right? It can be anybody who gets your attention, right? There are certain people that just fit in, encajan, and that's good. We need that. And then there are people who stand out. What about you? Do you stand out? Do you fit in? Does it depend on the situation? I think that's the real answer. But I wanted to use those two phrasal verbs because I like to teach them together. To stand out versus to fit in. Which is a little bit different than to stick out like a sore thumb. Okay, because you stand out, you excel. ¿Lo conocéis? Microsoft Excel, pues destacar, right? The word is excellent. So if you do an excellent job, you excel. You excel. No es Excel. I know you say Excel, but say it with me. Excel. He excelled. Okay. To stand out. Again, to stand out can be a negative or a positive thing. But if you say the idiomatic expression, man, if you wear that orange hat, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. And sore is dolido. And a thumb es pulgar. All right, amigos. So some good stuff to look at here that Dave reminds us of. One of the biggest things. And you guys didn't make that mistake, by the way. And that was, well, you don't know how many times I've heard it depends of. And you don't know how many times I've said depende en. I think until I was about 15, so maybe thousands of times. Hasta que alguien me dijo, somebody politely corrected me and said, Alberto, it's not depends, it's not depende en, it's depende de. And I know you know why I made that mistake. The same reason I've heard the mistake, it depends of, right? And think of it as one sound. We don't say, it depends on the weather. Depends on, como siempre va junto, dilo junto. Siempre, es la regla. Si va junto, dilo junto. That's the way I say it, right? So it all depends on, es como si fuera una palabra realmente. Because it's like listen to, right? Wait for. You say them together, so say them together. Don't pause. Find the way to put them together. Depends on. La S, lo unimos a son. Depends on. Depends on. Zon. It depends on. Y ya puedes poner lo que sea. Pon una lista de sustantivos. It depends on the weather. It depends on my mood. It depends on if I've eaten or not. It depends on what you want to do. It depends on whether we're going to sit in traffic or not. What does it depend on? Until you never say depends of, and you start to put those two sounds together, depend and on. And then the word weather is just another way to say if, right? It's pronounced exactly the same as el tiempo. Here's a good way to remember it. I don't know whether the weather will be good this weekend. Hey, corny. Very, very corny. Right? Cursi. But you'll remember it forever. Because what student of mine doesn't know the word weather? Whether you're a beginner or an advanced level, you know the word weather. It's just saying, okay, pues también es esto. And then to turn something down, as we just said, is rechazar. We've looked at that a lot of times in our Name That Movie section. If you remember, I said, Harrison Ford turned down the role. Rechazó el papel. He turned down. Y fijaos, turned down, la D de turned se une con la D de down. So he turned down. No hay que decir turned down y decir otra D. Sería una gilipollez, as you say, una tontería. It just wouldn't, it's uncomfortable. It doesn't come out. So you got to say, he turned down the offer. He rejected the offer. I don't know if anybody said that one. Just remember there, it's not reject. Pet reject, or you say pest reject. Hay un producto en la tele y lo pronuncian, right? It's reject, which is another one of those words. If you are a person who is rejected, right? Society has rejected you. You are a reject. Oh, man. Somebody should make a video of all these words like wind and wind, reject, reject, record, record, tear, tear. Somebody should make a video pronouncing these words and demystifying these words. Oh, wait a second. Someone did make a video. That's right. Damian and I made a video with these tricky words, these words that can be pronounced two different ways. Another one we looked at, refuse and refuse. Now, where is that video available? It's in our latest book. This book is the shit, as I said. Let me think. It's got about, I would say about 18 to 20 QR codes. So that's 18 to 20 videos to help you with pronunciation things. And as always, there's a little humor in there too. Un poco de humor. Folks, we've got to go to, I can't believe it, but yes, we've got to go to our first commercial break. I can't believe 20, unbelievable. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for making the show fly by. I'm having fun already. I hope you're having fun, and I hope you'll join us in the second part. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio, where English is exciting, enthralling, entertaining, and of course, interactive. You can interact every day with all your favorite Vaughn Radio shows, and you've got shows all day long. Right after today's show, you've got Ximena Holiday with Test Your English. Don't miss it. After that, you've got the Lunchtime Show with Andy Vaughn and her buddy Rob Grams. Join them for a bit of banter every day. Then, back to basics with Tosh Pasqua. A refresher course, if you will. Followed by Let's Get Random with Jules Linares. Western Civilization with our history buff, Guy Williams. And then you've got Dave Boyce and the Salad, and Kyle Miller and his program, Drive Time. It's all available on the Vaughn Radio app. Also, remember to stop by our website, grupovaughn.com. If you're looking for materials, it's vaughntienda.com. If you're looking to be a part of our community, follow us on social media. Folks, it's time for Say What? Say what? What? Yeah, it's the Say What soundbite on the show with no name. All right, amigos. All right, amigos. Hands up in the air, and just wave them like you just don't care. Like you just don't care, just wave them in the air. Oh yeah, I don't think a day goes by in my house where we don't sing. And when I say sing, I mean sing. All three of us too. My daughter, I think she's the best singer at our house, honestly. In order, I hope my wife isn't watching. Oh, sorry, honey. If you are, Lara, in order of best singers in the house, Lara, Daddy, and Mommy. Hey, we all have our talents. The funny thing is, if you ask Lara, she'll tell you the same. But not a day goes by where we don't sing here. Man, it's a way of expressing yourself, and it's a great learning tool, as many of you know. All right, well, here we're going to train our ear. We're also going to work on taking dictation and summarizing our thoughts in English. So you have a lot of things to do in this section called Say What. But the good thing is, I think it's fun, and we're exposed to a lot of different accents, and you practice a lot of different things with this exercise. So I want to urge everybody to participate. All right, here we go, my amigos. This is the Say What soundbite for the first time. Grab a pen and jot this down.
Right, okay, people, you have to tell me these things, all right? I've been frozen for 30 years, okay? Throw me a frickin' bone here. I'm the boss. Need the info. Okay, no problem. Here's my second plan.
All right, there you go, folks. That is the first one right there. The first listen. You're going to get a total of 4 listens. I think you know that already. But let's see. Let's see what you guys come up with. All right. I'll give you a second just to let it sink in a little bit. And then we're off to the races. Seguimos. Okay, everybody ready? This is the second listen of today's Say What soundbite. I look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Right, okay, people, you have to tell me these things, all right? I've been frozen for 30 years, okay? Throw me a frickin' bone here. I'm the boss. Need the info. Okay, no problem. Here's my second plan.
All right, there you go, amigos. There you go. Oh, and wait. I'm seeing we got a message over here on the show with no name. Hay un mensaje. Let's see who left us a message. Okay, so is Mommy a good singer?
Nope.
But we won't tell her, right?
We don't tell her nope.
Why? Because we don't want her to cry?
Yeah, this one, no cry.
But is she a good singer?
Nope.
Okay, what song do you know?
Rocky my baby on the cheetah. When the wind blows, the cradle will fall. When the bow breaks, the cradle will fall. Around down we come, baby, cradle in.
Yay, great job. There she is, my super student, Lara, confirming what I said before. Who's the best singer in the family? You heard her right there singing the lullaby that I sing to her every night. And I remember she goes, Papi, I like this song. And then when I tell her, do you know Grandma used to sing this song to me when I was a little baby? And now we sing it together. Rock-a-bye, baby, on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will drop. The cradle will rock. When the bow breaks, the cradle will fall, and down will come baby, cradle and all. And you just repeat that over and over and over. And she loves it. She loves it. So as you guys can see, music is an amazing learning tool. I know you guys know that already. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but you can hear it with my daughter. Did you hear the pronunciation? And I don't remember what word she says. The cradle will fall. I don't know. A couple of the words I was like, oh my God, perfect intonation, perfect pronunciation. And if you guys want to learn some tricks, some ways you can teach kids and, let's be honest, adults, because we're big kids, well, you'll have to listen to our episode of FYI this week with the one and only Tash Pasqua. Tash Pasqua is joining me to talk about parenting in English. And you can get that wherever you guys subscribe to podcasts. That can be Spotify, wherever. Just search for Your Inglés and get ready because it's an exciting episode. And you can catch Tash Pasqua at the book fair. She'll be there June 11th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. No, is that right? Yes, 12 noon to 2 p.m. I've got a lot of times written down here. All right. Let's see what you guys heard in today's Say What soundbite. Chris, she puts the lovey eyes. Well, yeah. Those are the eyes I look at her with every day. With those, oh my God, the goo goo gaga eyes. And I always ask her this too. I say, Lara, what's Daddy's favorite day ever? And she says, September 12th, her birthday, the day she was born. I go, what's Poppy's favorite? Poppy, I'm Daddy. What's Daddy's favorite day in the whole wide world? And she says, September 12th. It's a good way to teach her birthday, too. Let's see. Kubla says, I heard an American man sobbing, llorando, that he has been icy, frozen or icy for 3 decades and demanding respect because he calls the shots. All right. Nice job. All right. Let's see. We've got Kubla also, again, saying, Lara for Eurovisión 2030. No thanks. I don't want my daughter to, I don't know. I don't like the way fame is going these days, you know? I would prefer she, I don't know, nothing against those people, you know. I don't want to have a child. If you guys notice, I keep my daughter totally out of my social media and stuff because obviously I share her voice with you, but you know, it's a privacy thing, obviously. So I know you're joking, but I'm never going to be that parent. Like, we're going to send you to Eurovision. If you want to go, maybe, but I want my child to do normal things. I'm sorry. Not be some influencer or something like that, you know. All right, let's see. Monse says, hi, guys. Morning. Oh, lovely Lara, isn't she? She is really, really lovely. And I'm not just saying it because I'm her dad, you know, but she really is a lovely individual. My little baby. My baby. I got a lot of nicknames for her, but you know what? Now she's got a lot of nicknames for me as well. Leo says, I think he's a character who's complaining that after having been left out for 30 years, excluido, nobody pays any attention to him yet. Or anymore, maybe is what you want to say? Ya no? O todavía? Please throw a bone to him. I like it. I like that you heard that expression, Leo. It's a great expression. The only thing is, lo decimos es frase hecha. Please throw him a bone. Throw him a bone, which is an idiomatic expression. Good ear, Leo. Nihad. He says, I think he is the head of a company during a speech to his employees in which he affirms that he has, right? Tercera persona, that he has been without acting, sin interpretar, for 30 years. And now it's time to activate the second plan. All right, good. Or as we say, to activate plan B. To activate plan B. Excellent, Nihad. Monse. Monse says, I heard some kind of boss saying he wants to be in the know. Quiere estar enterado. Excellent. Excellent, Monse. After being frozen, let it go, for 3 years. So some of you heard 30 years. Some of you heard 3. But I love what you did. Monse says, evil laugh. Monse, knocking it out of the park. Excellent job. Well, I got to tell you guys something. Most Americans would definitely recognize that. Well, most English speakers would recognize this voice, but that's not your job. Your job isn't to recognize the voice. Your job is to jot down as much as you possibly can and also work on summarizing what you heard. But right now, we're going to move on to our Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. That's right, amigos. That's right. It's our Spelling Bee only on the show with no name. And as always, this is the part of the show where we spell some words for you and we see if you guys are able to get these words. Now, the first time, I am ruthless, okay? Despiadado. I don't care if you get it or not. Not my problem, okay? Not my problem at all. Now, the second time, I'm going to make sure I'm going to be that guy who's like, you got this? You got it? All right. So, folks, these don't have to be capitalized. That saves you one step. And they all have something in common as usual. Before we start our spelling bee, though, we've got Chris over here. And she says, I heard an American man claiming he was a nobody for a long time. And he asks for a little respect. RESPECT, find out what it means to me. But just in case, he has a second plan. All right, excellent. And Monse says, 30 years, it was a typo. Well, thank God, Monse, you did a great job, but thank God you're not doing my banking. Like if you were in charge of my bank account, 30 is very different than 3. Just saying. Just saying. I like to look at those little details when I'm hiring people. All right, folks, this is round 1. I'm going to fly through it. The first word is SHUTTLE. The second one is MILKY space WAY. The third one is ORBITER. The fourth one is BOOSTER. The fifth one is LAUNCH space PAD. And the last one is SATELLITE. Woo-hoo. You got to be kidding me. Man. All right, folks. Give you a little clue, if you will. Has something to do with what we're hearing there in the background, right? Going once. Oh, and I lied. The second one should have been capitalized, but I didn't tell you that, so I won't hold you accountable for that. All right? Let's see. We've got somebody participating, and it's Kubla. Let's see if you've got it, Kubla. The first one is correct. The second one is also correct. Again, it should have been capitalized, but that's my bad. I told you not to worry about that. The third one is correct. The fourth one as well. So is the fifth one. And the sixth one is 100% correct. Nice job, Kubla. Born to Iron Man was next. You got a mistake in your first one, Born to Iron Man. But we've also got Chris Valrol and Lupe. Wow. I guess I should have gone faster. I guess I should have stepped on it. Pisarlo. All right. Let's give you these words a second time. As you guys are noticing, these words all had to do with space. Are you ready? Oh, and we don't say el espacio. We don't say the space. We say space. Oh, and by the way, there's an FYI episode on NASA. So if you'd like to give it a listen, you can learn some more vocabulary. We're going to take a look at some right now in our second round. The first word is SHUTTLE. The second word is MILKY space WAY. The next one is ORB ITER. The fourth one is BOOSTER. The fifth one is LAUNCH space PAD. And the sixth one, SATELLITE. All right. There you go, my amigos. That is round 2. Hopefully some of you guys got it. Now, the reason I chose this stuff is, let's be honest, space stuff is cool. But also today, in 1961, U.S. President, former U.S. President JFK, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, announced the intention to put a man on the moon before the end of the decade. And this is just one of many famous speeches by JFK. In fact, let me play a little bit of that speech for you right now. Let's see how much you guys can understand. And also, I want to see if you catch that New England accent. I don't mean England. I mean New England in the United States, in the Northeast. Let's hear JFK with his famous Man on the Moon speech.
The dramatic achievements in space which occurred in recent weeks should have made clear to us all, as did the Sputnik in 1957, the impact of this adventure on the minds of men everywhere who are attempting to make a determination of which road they should take. Since early in my term, our efforts in space have been under review. With the advice of the Vice President, who is chairman of the National Space Council, we have examined where we are strong and where we are not, where we may succeed and where we may not. Now it is time to take longer strides, time for a great new American enterprise, time for this nation to take a clearly leading role in space achievement, which in many ways may hold the key to our future on Earth. I believe we possess all the resources and talents necessary, but the facts of the matter are that we have never made the national decisions or marshaled the national resources required for such leadership. We have never specified long-range goals on an urgent time schedule or managed our resources and our time so as to ensure their fulfillment. I therefore ask the Congress, above and beyond the increases I have earlier requested for space activities, to provide the funds which are needed to meet the following national goals. First, I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth. No single space project in this period will be more impressive to mankind or more important for the long-range exploration of space, and none will be so difficult or expensive to accomplish.
All right, the one and only JFK. What a great orator. Hablador, right? Orador, you say? Orator, we say. A great orator, the legendary JFK. And yes, he was responsible for starting the space program in the United States. Well, not starting it, but really taking it to the next level, to infinity and beyond. Okay, that's Buzz Lightyear. All right, the first word is shuttle. This is a great word, es transbordador, but it's also, what's the word? What do you say? Lanzadera. So if you think about it, it's the same thing. It shuttles people from one place to another. Every time I think of a shuttle, I think of a theme park or of my university. It had so many parking lots that you could take a shuttle and many buildings that you could take shuttles around the parking lot. So it's not just a word that we use in space, but also my daughter's on a class trip today. So they're shuttling the kids to the petting zoo, la granja escuela, to shuttle, a verb as well. The next one, the Milky Way. This is how Damian and I teach English. Well, hey, that's what we call it. You know, we teach you English, having fun, looking at these words that are milky, but also the Milky Way es la Vía Láctea, not to be confused with productos lácteos, which are dairy products. That's right. The Milky Way, dairy. A dairy farmer es agricultor que se dedica a los lácteos. See, I love it when we can play with words like that. But folks, we got to continue playing with words after the commercial break. We'll be right back with tons more. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. That's right, amigos. It's the show with no name. This is Vaughn Radio, and I hope you guys are having fun. And I hope you'll be joining us at the book fair. Feria del Libro Madrid. I'll be there with Damian this coming Saturday, May 27th, from 11 to 2 p.m. Then again, the following Saturday, June 3rd, from 11 to 2 p.m. as well. And then we'll wrap it up on Sunday, June 11th, from 11 to 2 at stand 312. It's Grupo Vaughan, or Grupo Vaughan, as it's called. I hope you guys will join us. It's going to be tons of fun. Ximena's going to be there. Ximena's going to be there on Saturday, June 3rd at 5 p.m. Also at Sunday, June 11th. And that's also at 5 p.m. So come meet your favorite Vaughn Radio presenters, teachers, authors. We are looking forward to meeting you guys, or reconnecting if we've already met. Si ya nos hemos conocido. All right, folks, time for Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right. It's Homophones or Not, only on the show with no name. And this is the part of the show where I give you these tricky words, these words that I've seen my students stumble on many times. Tropezarse, to stumble. Okay, to stumble. Stumble se escribe. And so that's why I like to look at these words, so we can clear up any little nuances that may come up. And as always, these words usually have more than one meaning. We'll take a look at the several meanings of them, prepositions that are used, just to use them in their natural habitat in context. And always remember that when you're taking notes here on the show and I give you an expression or some vocabulary, put it in context, your context. All right, the first word is atado. Okay, atado. So something that is bound. We looked at that word the other day. A book, a binding, es encuadernar, to bind. So it's bound. Okay, but it's not the word bound. It's atado. Okay, so it can be el pasado o el participio del verbo atar. Okay, I think it's a pretty well-known verb. Most of you are probably familiar with it. Okay. And the second word is the ocean current. Yo siempre me costaba océano, porque we say ocean. La E y la A es un sonido, no es ocean. It's ocean. Ocean. So the second word, marea, corriente, right? También puede ser tendencia en ese significado también. We'll take a look at that a little bit later. Also, the first one has many more meanings, and we'll take a look at those as well. All right, we'll take a look at the root, que es atar, which, man, it's part of idiomatic expressions. There are many meanings as well. And in the meantime, I'm going to give you guys today's Say What soundbite for the third time. Please write down what you hear.
Right. Okay, people, you have to tell me these things, all right? I've been frozen for 30 years, okay? Throw me a frickin' bone here. I'm the boss. Need the info. Okay, no problem. Here's my second plan.
All right. There you go, amigos. That is part two of the show with, well, not the show with no name, part 3. Oh my God. Did I just say part 2? Wow. Guys, really, really, thank you so much. I can't believe we've done an hour. I honestly believed we were in part 2 of the show. Unbelievable. Thank you. Honestly, it's a magical thing to be able to have so much fun that time flies when you're working. And I love what I do. And again, that's a huge part of that is thanks to you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we have got a winner over here in our Say What soundbite. Please give it up for your classmate, Kubla. Excellent. Nice job, Kubla. Wonderful, wonderful job. Also, Kubla's participating in our homophones. Let's take a look. Those are the correct words, and Kubla says they sound alike. Let's see. Chris Valrol, those are the correct words. And Chris says, I'd say they're homophones. So 2 super students there are agreeing. What do you guys think? Do you agree with them? I wouldn't dare disagree with them. Why? I trust them. Not with everything, and I don't know them that, but as far as English is concerned and this level, I think both of them, I would bet on them. Would you? Let's see. Linderman says, you're the best, Alberto. Oh, no. I'm not the best. You guys are the best. Thank you so much again for giving me that job satisfaction. Not everybody gets the satisfaction and the direct contact with, it's more about that feedback. I think one of the biggest problems today, talking to many people in many different fields, is it's a question of feedback. A lot of people say, okay, my salary is not that great, whatever, the typical complaints. I work long hours. But one of the things that pisses people off the most is feeling like they're going unnoticed. And that happens a lot. Pasar desapercibido. Why? Well, as long as you're doing your job. But sometimes we need to hear, excellent job. Oh, and by the way, that's yesterday. I always, because everybody's quick to say what they don't like. They're quick to complain or say when they're offended. But I like to say when I'm happy and when I like something. And if you guys like that radio ad I played at the beginning, that was Dino. So, and I sent him a voice message, telling him what a great job he's done on all the This Book is the Shit ads, las cuñas. And I also told Rob, his boss, as well. So that's how I work. I'm not like, oh, I'm going to get this guy in trouble. I'm quite the opposite. I'm like, this guy needs to be commended. He did a wonderful job, right? So that's my philosophy. All right, let's take a look at these words. The first word comes from the word tie, T-I-E. And tie is atar, as we said. It's also una corbata, kind of makes sense, right? Tie your tie. I don't know how to tie a tie. A tie es un empate también. So technically, atado puede ser también empatado. Yep. So how does that sound? Tied. They are tied for first place. My hands are tied. Esto es una expresión. No hay nada que yo pueda hacer en este momento. O sea, yo estoy sin poder aquí. My hands are tied. Oh, man, I'm tied up all afternoon. Yeah, I'm into S&M. Me gusta lo kinky ahí. No. El bondage. No. También puede ser tied up, atado, but I'm tied up is busy. Oh, man, I've been tied up all week. Tied up, okay? Corbata, empate. Also, we say to tie your shoes, to tie your shoelaces. Either one is fine. And I'm sure there are many more, but the sound is tied. Say it with me. And the second one is tied. So they tied at high tide. They tied him to the pier at high tide. Le ataron al muelle en la marea alta. Oh my God, that doesn't sound good. They tied him to the pier at high tide. All right, well, folks, they do sound the same. Excellent job. Kubla and Chris, knocking it out of the park. Let's finish up our spelling bee because we have a few more words we needed to look at over here. We said shuttle. We said Milky Way. We said dairy, right? It's muy diferente que diary. Your diary is, dear diary, today I had an awesome day. And dairy, de hecho, uno de mis sitios favoritos para helado en Estados Unidos se llama Dairy Queen. So, Chris, you're the movie queen, and I love to go to Dairy Queen to get my daughter loves it too. The next one is orbiter. This is the thing that orbits. It can be a satellite. It can be a pod. This is another word we see a lot with when we talk about space. The best way to explain pod to you, you're all familiar with Star Wars, not the new ones. They don't count. I mean the old school ones, 1977. Okay. Do you remember when Darth Vader boards the ship? And if this is a spoiler for you, you gotta wake up, man. 1977, really? So Arturito, as you call him, Arturito, it's R2D2 in English, and C-3PO, they get into an escape pod once they know that the ship, the safety of the ship is in jeopardy, in peligro. And they end up in what my daughter said, esto fue lo mejor, when we first watched Star Wars, and they landed in the desert there, she goes, why are they in Almeria? We say in English, kids say the darndest things. Niños dicen las cosas más no puntuales ahí. It's an old TV show. Kids say the darndest thing, donde cogían frases de niños. I think there's one in Spanish that's very similar. It's a because kids, they speak from the heart, man. They speak from the heart. They don't mince their words. No mezclan sus palabras. No dicen lo que no quieren. Dicen las cosas claras. They don't mince their words. So yes, these words, orbiter, I don't think it has another, I'm thinking about it, there's no other meaning I can think of there. Milky también, no lo he dicho, pero algo que es milky, tiene mucha crema, no es cremoso, can be creamy or milky. The next word, booster. Sure, this is a great word. This word's got 3 meanings that I can think of off the top of my head. 1, okay, the thing that sends the rocket to the moon or wherever, booster. You call it, ¿dónde está esto? Booster. Cohete acelerador. So it's a booster, okay? Also, a booster es dosis de refuerzo, okay? Booster, ¿no? Te da un aumento de algo. And a boost es un aumento, right? We boosted our sales, right? So again, don't just think of the word as just that. And a booster seat, esto es importante, padres, apunta, because you've got a high chair, que es la trona, el trono, siempre me lío con eso. The kids' chair, the high chair, and then you've got the booster seat, which is la silla infantil, ¿no? Que es un poco que te da un boost, te da un aumento, es como sentarte en una guía telefónica. Hey, important to know, it's not the same thing. Do you need a high chair or do you need a booster seat? Y seguro que si no has oído las palabras te vas a quedar, excuse me? I did, what? So that word, wow, lots of meanings. And to boost, again, a great verb. We boosted our sales. The next one is the launch pad. You know this one because every day when we start our show, we are on the launch pad. La pista de despegue, pero no es la del aeropuerto, es la de específicamente de lanzamiento de cohetes, launch pad, right? And just be careful. I've heard students mix up the word launch and lunch. We're going to launch the book after lunch. Dilo conmigo. We're going to launch the book after lunch. And the last word is satellite. Satellite. I know you'll recognize it. Just be careful. It's not satellite, right? Satellite. Satellite. Bueno, los americanos, la primera T es como una D. Satellite. Pero algún británico dirá, satellite? Have you seen the satellite? The only satellite I've ever seen is Terminal 4S. Satellite in Madrid. It's a huge. Madrid airport is huge, by the way. It's cool as an airport, an airplane lover. It's cool to have such a big airport. But when you're in it and you need to go from one end to the other, or from one terminal to another, God help you. God help you. You feel like Tom Hanks in the movie The Terminal. Oh, and speaking of movies, it's time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie only on the show with no name. And let's see if you guys can figure out the movie that I've got for you today. This is, let's see, what can I tell you? I haven't seen it, but I know it was quite popular when it came out. So maybe some of you have seen it. And either way, if you haven't seen the movie, you don't lose anything here. Why? Quite simply, you're going to learn whether you know it or not. If you know it, great. You can participate. Here we go. Robin Monroe, a New York magazine editor, and the gruff pilot, Quinn Harris, must put aside their mutual dislike if they are to survive after crash landing on a deserted South Seas island. Okay, so let's go through this over here. Okay, Robin Monroe is a New York magazine editor. Okay, de revistas en Nueva York. So just think corporate type, no, tipa corporativa. And the gruff, and if you're gruff, it's un poco basto, I think, brusco. If you're gruff with people, a little bit like that, right? Gruff. And the gruff pilot, Quinn Harris, must put aside. You can put aside your differences or you can set aside your differences. Ponerlos a un lado. You can also do it with physical things as well. But they must put aside their mutual, dilo conmigo porque he oído mutual, mutual, muy diferente, aunque se escriba igual. Bueno, casi igual. They must put aside, muy importante ese modal verb, deberían, para tener, ¿no? Para sobrevivir. They must put aside their mutual dislike, su odio, o que no se caen bien entre ellos, mutuo, if they are, si van a, so if they're going to, another way to say it is if they are to survive the crash. And they crash land on a deserted island, que no hay nada, una isla desierta, in the South Seas, los mares del sur. Is it the South China Seas? I don't know. Let me see. What are the South Seas? The only one that comes to mind is the South China Sea. Let's see. The South Seas, the Pacific Ocean, south of the equator, Polynesia. Okay, all right. I know it now. Gotcha. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, looks like we've got a winner, Chris and Kubla. 6 days, 7 nights. The movie is called 6 Days, 7 Nights, and it was really popular when it came out in 1998. It stars Harrison Ford. Come on now, as a pilot, come on. He's playing a role. He is a pilot. So also Anne Heche, you know, the actress Anne Heche. Also, she was huge. She died recently in a car crash. Have you guys seen the video? You should check this out. It's pretty freaky if you haven't seen it. Google Anne Heche stretcher, okay? Or ambulance. Stretcher es la camilla. She gets up, like she sits up, se incorpora, when she's like, I don't know if that was supposed to be filmed, but it begs questions. I'm just saying. I Google it and you can, formulate your own opinion there. But there's a video of her right after the car crash. She's on a stretcher and they're putting her into an ambulance and she sits up and the guy pushes her back. It's really scary. I don't know what's going on. Something doesn't make sense there. I smell something fishy. So Anne Heche, the late Anne Heche, she also dated Ellen DeGenerate. Yo le llamo, su nombre es DeGeneres, pero yo le llamo Ellen DeGenerate, degenerada. Well, she doesn't necessarily have a nice reputation. Supposedly, she treats her staff, her team, like shit. So never liked her anyway. She seemed too phony, demasiada falsa. Well, the island where this movie was filmed is the same island where they filmed King Kong in 1976. So that's kind of cool. Also, the plane that Harrison Ford flies in the movie, he was actually flying. Now, he's a pilot, as I said, but he had to go through several certifications. Because let me explain something for those of you who don't know. If you're a pilot, that doesn't mean you can fly any plane. There are type certifications. So you may be type certified to fly a 767 and a 757. That doesn't mean you can fly a 777, a 777, como lo llaman, or a 787. So these are certifications. So he had to get recertified to fly this specific plane. And also the insurance company, since he was flying the rest of the cast and other people, they said, well, wait, there are a lot of lives in jeopardy, in peligro, que could potentially be in jeopardy. So he had to retrain a bit there. And I'm sure the actors felt better about that as well. Let's take a look at the scene. Robin says, what are you looking at? Fijaos, looking at todo junto, otra vez, como te dije antes. Si van juntos, no los separes. What are you looking at? What are you? Notice, what are you? What are you looking at? It's dos partes. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? What are you? Pausa. Respiras. Hay que respirar. You got to remind me of that sometimes. What are you looking at? And Quinn says, nothing. And Robin says, something. Algo estás mirando. And Quinn says, nothing. Nada. And Robin says, no, don't give me that. No me vengas con esta. You were ogling, okay? And to ogle is comerse con los ojos. It's, giving her like a mirada lujuriosa. Toma. To ogle over someone, okay? Or to ogle at. You can, depending on the context. So you were ogling. And Quinn says, ogling? Let me ask you something. Te voy a preguntar algo. Porque cuando dices let me, no está, perdón, deja que te pregunte algo. Porque estás diciendo, te lo voy a preguntar. Let me ask you something. When you go into a department store, grandes almacenes, you say, to buy something like that, what do you say to the clerk? Give me that outfit so no one will look at me? So, dice que va, he's saying that she's dressed in a very sexy or provocative way. So he goes, when you go into the department store, do you say to the clerk, give me that outfit so no one will, so he's saying you're wearing an outfit, so I look at you. There's that, And Robin says, no, I like people looking. Me gusta que la gente me mire, just not you. Es tú que me molestas. What a great answer. No, I don't mind attention. It's just from you. I don't want it. And Quinn says, if it makes you feel any better, you're not my type. And now his ego, su ego, his ego has been damaged. Oh, his manhood. And he goes, well, if it makes you feel better, you're not my type. That's the oldest line in the book. And Robin says, oh, good. Why? And Quinn says, why? Yeah, I'm making conversation. Why? Estoy entablando la conversación. Why? And Quinn says, you talk too much. Hablas demasiado. You're opinionated. Tienes demasiadas opiniones, ¿no? Tienes que darlas siempre, right? You're opinionated. You're stubborn, cabezota. Sarcastica, and stuck up, creída. Piénsalo, if you're stuck up, vas con la nariz levantada. Your nose is stuck up in the air, right? And you're stuck up, and your ass is too narrow, and your tits are too small. Oops. And es demasiado estrecho, tu culo y tus peras están demasiado pequeñas. And Robin says, Hey, you want to know why you're not my type? And Quinn says, nope. All right, well, folks, I can't believe it. We've got to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the fourth and final part of today's show. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name on Vaughn Radio. Come on in, everybody. It's time for part 4. Remember, you've got tons of amazing programs on Vaughn Radio all day long. If you're looking for solutions to your English issues, stop by our website, grupovaughn.com. Also, you can call us if you're traditional, 911-3858-31. 911-3858-31. Our website, grupovaughn.com. Our bookshop, vaughntienda.com. And just search for Grupo Vaughn on all your different social media platforms. And while you're at it, ya que estás, follow Tosh, Dave, Kyle, and all my amigos at Vaughn Radio, and you'll learn English and have tons of fun. And follow me, of course. Follow me. All right, amigos, are you ready for another challenge? This is going to be a tough one. Well, either way, lately we've had a lot of difficulty here. Well, not a lot of difficulty, but not too many people have gotten it. It's been pretty tough lately. Leo has been rising to the challenge, but I got to say, all of you have, but I have a feeling, I'm getting this feeling that the last couple double troubles have really caused trouble, as the name suggests. So let's see how you do with this one. And you want to know something crazy? I almost said this before, and I stopped myself from saying the idiomatic expression. All right, so here is your double trouble. You have to use the same word twice. Siempre le digo a mi hija que vaya a por todas o que apunte alto. Okay? Okay. So, and the second part, claro, se me olvidó la segunda parte. Hay dos frases. Me tiro a la piscina o actúo sin pensarlo mucho. No, hablo desde, I said before, I speak from the heart. I don't filter it very much. Right? That's what I'm trying to say here. So, te lo repito todo. Es difícil, ¿eh? Siempre le digo a mi hija que vaya a por todas, que apunte alto. Me tiro a la piscina o actúo sin pensarlo mucho. ¿No? Hablo sin editar. All right? There you go, my amigos. I'll give you a little clue if you'd like. Here's a little a sound clue that may or may not help you. Hey, I think that's the key right there. If you know what that action is, it might give you a clue. All right, let's also listen to our Say What soundbite. This is the fourth and final listen. Please write down what you hear word for word.
Right. Okay, people, you have to tell me these things, all right? I've been frozen for 30 years, okay? Throw me a frickin' bone here. I'm the boss. Need the info. Okay, no problem. Here's my second plan.
All right, there's your Say What soundbite, folks, and we will take a look at who that is, what's being said, and all that jazz in just a little bit. But let's go back to our double trouble right now and see if you guys are having trouble with it. Okay, right now, nobody's got it. Ooh, this is, I don't know if it's, the examples are getting harder. I don't know. Hey, well, I'm asking you guys. I'm thinking aloud here. Estoy pensando en voz alta. So, siempre le digo a mi hija, that part's easy, que vaya a por todas, ¿no? Que apunte alto. Me tiro a la piscina, ¿no? Actúo o hablo sin pensarlo mucho. Desde aquí, sin editar. Okay? Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, because when you look it up here in Spanish, it says to speak or act hastily. So, tirarse a la piscina, actuar sin pensar. Okay? English synonyms. Nah, it's hard. It's a really difficult one here, man. But I have faith in you. I'm sure somebody's going to be able to figure it out. Maybe not. Let's see. Monse is taking a stab at it. And Monse says, that's the speech I always say to my daughter. Go big or go home. Free speech. I like it. I like what you're doing there. It's not what I have written here, but I like it. Let's see. Kubla. Kubla says, I always tell my daughter to shoot high. I always shoot from the hip. Well, the first part, I haven't heard shoot high. I don't know. Maybe it's British or Australian. I haven't heard to shoot high, though. But I get it. It makes sense. And the second part, which is the hardest part, I think is the one you got there. So the second part is to shoot from the hip. Piénsalo. Disparo, no saco el arma, punto, disparo. I shoot desde la cadera. I shoot from the hip. You want to know the truth? Right? I don't edit what I say. I say it, and then later I think about it. I remember this expression. If you've seen the famous movie, Something About Mary, Algo Pasa con Mary, there's a scene where they're talking about Matt Damon's character. Matt Dillon, not Matt Damon. ¿Ves cómo me lío aquí? And he says, I shoot from the hip. And you can see it in context there. So to shoot from the hip, tirarse a la piscina, it says here. And the first part, I always tell my daughter to shoot for the stars, to shoot for the moon, right? So these are expressions that mean tienes que ir a por el cielo, por todas, a por la, you know. And if you think about it, now we call it a moonshot. A moonshot. This is, we were just talking before about Kennedy's speech. A moonshot is un jonrón alto, okay? It means a big, big acción, right, that you've done. Okay, when Steve Jobs and Apple released the iPhone, that was their moonshot. Okay, so they shot for the moon, iban a por todas. So again, if you listen to that JFK speech, a lot of people call it the moonshot speech. So shoot for the moon, shoot for the stars. I tell my daughter that, and I also tell my students that day in, day out, día tras día, because you know me, I shoot from the hip. Okay, I can always go back and edit and rectify, but I shoot from the hip. That's the kind of person I am. All right, folks, it's time to move on, though, to a section I know you love. I know you look forward to it every day here with bells on, and I'm talking about You're Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking.
That's right, amigos. You're Joking is the section where we learn English with a little splash of humor here. And folks, let's see if you get these jokes. If you get them, you can explain them to us. Either way, I will explain the jokes afterwards. And as you can imagine, these are jokes that have to do with space today. Well, I'm in that kind of mood ever since. Well, JFK, you know me. He's one of the people I look up to, JFK. And I'm not a big fan of politicians, by the way. So here we go. Let's see if you get this joke I've got for you. Why couldn't the astronaut stay focused? Why couldn't the astronaut stay focused? Y pronuncia esta palabra, por favor, conmigo. No es focus o focus que he oído. It's focused. Okay, focus. Y luego en pasado, focused. Y también el participio, right? So why couldn't the astronaut stay focused? Because he kept spacing out. No, he kept spacing out. No, I space out all the time, and I'm not an astronaut. Let's see some comments. The Last Mohican says, "We choose to go to the moon not because it is easy, but because it is hard." There you go. That's right. Part of that moonshot speech. Born to Iron Man. He says AC/DC shoots from the hip on stiff upper lip. Awesome. Great job, Born to Iron Man. Finding it in pop culture. You know I love it. All right, so did anybody get the joke? It's to space out. All right, well, obviously space is el espacio. Space también es sitio. I need space. Necesito espacio. But also to space out is to daydream. It's to not be present in the moment. So think about it. My wife asks me a question. Alberto, what time do we have to be there tomorrow? And I'm like, I'm singing the national anthem in my head. Oh, say, can you see? And she's like, hello, Earth to Alberto. You spaced out. Okay? To space out, desconectarse, right? To space out. To daydream is another way to say it, right? Fantasear, no? You're not present. Your mind is somewhere else, Or, oh, what just happened? I'm sorry. I spaced out. I wasn't here for a moment, right? And that's when we say that famous expression in our alien voice, Earth to Alberto, Earth to Alberto. So to space out. Did you know that one? Also, when you're writing a book, you need to space things out accordingly. ¿No? Colocar todo en el espacio aptamente, correctamente, right? So why couldn't the astronaut stay focused? He kept spacing out. And where did he drink? Oh, easy, at the space bar. No, the space bar, la barra del espacio on the keyboard, y la barra, el bar en el espacio. Okay, but why was the star arrested? ¿Por qué se arrestó a la estrella? Se detuvo a la estrella. Why was the star arrested? Easy. It was a shooting star. No. A shooting star. Oh my God. Don't shoot the messenger. All right. A shooting star, uno que dispara, but also a shooting star is una estrella fugaz. Shooting star. Okay. Hey, you know who's a shooting star? Alec Baldwin. That's not funny. He really killed somebody. Like, why isn't he in jail? Oh, because he's famous and rich. Okay, right. Gotcha. So why didn't the dog star, last one, I promised, keep your tomatoes. Hold on to them. Okay. Why didn't the dog star laugh at the joke? Do you call it the dog star? The dog star. Dog star. I don't know. In Spanish? Dog star. In Spanish. Let's see what they call it in Spanish. I'm looking for it, folks. 97 languages. What about just Spanish? That'll do it. You call it Alpha Canis Majoris. Yeah, that's what you call it. Okay, so I guess, yeah, canine, canino, same thing. So why didn't the dog star laugh at any of my jokes? Well, he was just too serious. No? Sirius, serio, and Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky. The dog star, Canis Majoris, is also called Sirius. Se escribe Sirius en vez de Sirios. All right. I thought it was funny. What do you call the dog star? Or why didn't the dog star laugh at any jokes? It was too serious. All right, guys. I know these weren't the greatest jokes you'll ever hear in your life, but hopefully you learned some double meanings, and hopefully you guys are ready for our next section, which is a section where we celebrate. And every day we celebrate life here on the show. We celebrate the fact that we're learning, that we're healthy. But why not celebrate some birthdays too while we're at it? Ya que estamos.
Birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Birthdays for him. Birthdays for her. Birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And folks, we've got some cool birthdays coming up. I've given you guys some clues, as I always do, all throughout the show. Let's see if you guys know who these people are. The first person was born in 1969. She died last summer, August 11th, 2022. She was in a car crash in Hollywood, California, and a very talented actress. She's been in so many movies. She was in the movie 6 Days, 7 Nights, and so many other movies. She's been in a couple movies with Harrison Ford. She was in a relationship with Ellen DeGeneres, as I call her. And what else? She's 6 Days, 7 Nights. Oh, she was also in Donnie Brasco. What a great movie, Donnie Brasco. She was in Wag the Dog, which is awesome. If you haven't seen that movie, it's with Robert De Niro, Dustin Hoffman. It's written by screenwriter and playwright David Mamet. Es buenísimo. And it's about how they start a war to distract the people away from the fact that the president had an affair, un asunto. So they start a war. And it's crazy. And to wag the dog is to distract people. Mira aquí, no ahí, right? To wag the dog. Really good stuff. And we can learn from the title. And I think if you don't know who she is by now, then you might not know who she is. She's very, very famous, but unfortunately, she died a lot sooner than she should have. This next guy is a scorpion. Well, no, I don't mean a Scorpio like me. I mean a scorpion. And no, I don't mean an animal with claws and a stinger. I mean, follow them as one down to Gorky Park, listening to the wind of change. And last but not least, this person was born in 1963. Extremely funny guy. He played Wayne in Wayne's World. He also played, what else? Wayne in Wayne's World, Dr. Evil, and Austin Powers. And very, very funny characters. Now, don't get confused, because this guy doesn't go by the name Michael. Because if he went by the name Michael, then it's the fictional character from Halloween. So there's a big difference between Mike Myers and Michael Myers. Michael Myers, hockey mask, knife, slasher. Mike Myers, funny guy. I heard he's a bit of a divo, though. He's not easy to get along with. All right, folks, we've got some winners. Give it up for Kubla and Chris. Number 1, Anne Heche. Anne Heche. Number 2, Klaus Meine. Not yours, mine. Klaus Meine from the Scorpions. And last but not least, Mike Myers. Not to be confused with Michael Myers. And this is him playing one of his quintessential characters, Dr. Evil. Doctor Malvado? What do you call him? Dr. Evil. And this is, I mean, all of his lines have become really, really famous. So let's take a look at what he said in this scene. This is from the original Austin Powers movie. And he goes, right, people, venga, gente, correcto. You have to tell me these things, okay? Because I think he's saying, we're going to make it look like Prince Charles had an affair on Diana, and then we'll force a divorce. And he's like, sir, they got a divorce 5 years ago. He was frozen. So he goes, right, people, you have to tell me these things, okay? Me tenéis que poner al día, me tenéis que contar estas cosas bien. I've been frozen for 30 years, okay? Throw me a freaking bone here. Échame un cable. Throw me a bone. Dame algo. I'm the boss. Soy el jefe. Need the info. Necesito la información. Okay, no problem. Here's my second plan. So as any evil character, he's always scheming, planificando, tramando, scheming. Let's hear Mike Myers as Dr. Evil.
Right. Okay, people, you have to tell me these things, all right? I've been frozen for 30 years, okay? Throw me a frickin' bone here. I'm the boss. Need the info. Okay, no problem. Here's my second plan.
All right, amigos, and my plan is to do Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric. Only on the
show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. His name a lyric only on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. It's named that lyric only on the show with no name. That's right, amigos. It's named that lyric. And thank you once again for your energy, for your excitement, and for bringing the magic day in, day out. Don't forget, you've got amazing programs here on Vaughn Radio. I got to tell you something. I know in my case, if you wanted private classes with me, I don't know if it's possible, but you can have classes with me every day. I know Ximena's schedule is booked. I know Tash Pasqua can't fit any more classes or any more work in her day, but you guys are lucky enough to have these amazing teachers every day for free here on Vaughn Radio. And the only thing we ask, and you don't have to do it, but if you're happy and you love it, spread the word. Let people know that we're here and we're teaching English, and English doesn't have to be some boring thing. We can learn English with movies, music, and the world around us. So thank you again. An absolute pleasure. Stay tuned for Ximena Holiday. Again, she'll be with you for the next hour on Test Your English. I'll give you guys the song. The song is Still Lovin' You by the Scorpions. Yeah, I was going to do Wind of Change, because that's one of their famous ones, when the Berlin Wall came down. Follow them as one, down to Gorky Pond, listening to the wind of change. But that's a downer. Estás un poco bajón. It's a beautiful song, so I figured we could rock out with Still Loving You. So if you guys Google the lyrics with me, we can sing it together. Time, it needs time to win back your love again. Ganárselo de nuevo. I will be there. I will be there. Love, only love can bring you back. Love, someday. Fight, luchar. I will fight to win back your love again. It is a rock ballad. The Scorpions are famous for these. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I hope you learned, and I hope you'll join us tomorrow for more of the Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. Sing it with me. I can't hit these notes. I need your help. Are you ready? Time. You. Time. Wait for it, Alberto. Ah. Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Ciao for now.